Hey, what's up? It's Mike Morse from Bob and the Showgram on G105, here for G105 and also Kiss 93.9 FM. And we're here with none other than B.o.B, a.k.a. Bobby Ray. Which one do you like to be called?
Man, Bob's cool. Bobby Ray, all of it.
Can you go back to holding your mic the way that you were holding it? That was the coolest way I've ever seen anybody hold their mic. No, like this. You were like this. I was like, he's got swag.
The whole interview is like this.
Exactly. That's pretty pimp for a web chat. I want to say, first off, welcome home. Found out you were born and raised right here in North Carolina.
Yes, I was. Feels good to be here.
You still have people here?
Yeah, my whole family's out here. Yeah.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
And then you moved down to Decatur, which is greater. You love Atlanta?
Well, my parents moved me down. I wasn't old enough to move at the time. No.
Oh, yeah. I see you driving the U-Haul, 8 years old.
Man, that baby's good. No.
It's B.o.B. Of course, the album is going to be coming out next week. You got to get it. It's called Strange Clouds. The single now is So Good, and the video's been out for a while. And tell us all about the song.
Man, the song's so good. I wrote with Ryan Tedder out in Denver, and at the time we wrote it, we wrote a lot of different songs, and we kind of just sat on them. We knew they were just definitely going to make the album because they were so good, but So Good ended up being the first flagship single for the album, and we shot the video, and we got a lot of footage from Europe, and we ended up in Buenos Aires. And the video was just phenomenal, just to see it come to life exactly how we envisioned it. So it turned out great.
And right now, if you're listening to this web chat, make sure that you hit us up at G105 Radio on Twitter. Also hashtag Strange Cloud so you can keep with the conversation. Send us your questions. Yes. And we want to talk about some collabs here in a minute because a lot of people have been texting about that. But first off, I got to ask you, what happened with airport security today?
Oh, man.
Come on now.
So basically, it's about my staff and crew. We traveled about 6 of us, so 3 of us were randomly selected somehow, and my manager B Rich, they gave him like a extensive pat down body search. It lasted about 5 minutes. I've never seen a body search last that long.
It's going to be bad when they put the glove on. Take him in the back room.
He stretched it real pop. No. But
well, yeah, so
yeah,
what I saw your tweet about that and about how airport security was. It got me thinking, you're blowing up like People's Choice Award, favorite hip hop artist, and this album coming out next week is going to be one of the biggest albums of the year. When was the last time you've ever had to say, "Bitch, don't you know who I am"? Come on, I know it's come up.
Well, I pulled out my ID. Sometimes you go to security and you have to look at your ID, and my glasses off, just looking at me, looking at me still. I'm like, it's me. Like, who else could it be? Like, it's not. It's a fresh ID, but I never really had to pull out my pimp hand.
Like, don't you know who I am? Yeah. So a lot of people have been tweeting about the collaborations. Everybody knows Jessie J, Price Tag. They know Bruno Mars, Nothing on You. Haley from Paramore, Rivers from Weezer. What are some of the collabs that you have coming up on this next album, Strange Clouds, coming out next week?
Well, this album, you would definitely expect to see features, ranging from Taylor Swift to Nicki Minaj to Morgan Freeman and Ryan Tedder.
What are you doing? Are you doing an album about penguins or something? You guys just walk down Hollywood and ask anybody if they want to be on it, right?
Well, man, it's like when I made the intro track to the album, at the time, it definitely jumped out to me as an intro track. And, it had this real medieval type of, sinister type of vibe to it. And I felt like, getting Morgan Freeman to do some narration on it would just be epic, man. And
Andy
the voice of God himself. You've seen him first. No.
Now, some people have been tweeting about Haley Reinhart. Are they just confusing your collaboration that you did with Haley from Paramore?
I don't know, man.
These are secrets for the album.
Look, it's hard for me to even keep up with my own schedule. I don't even know where I was yesterday.
So many beautiful women who want to perform with you. Yeah, that must be tough. All right, so we got a couple questions also from the audience. And Rachel's got the microphone. Raise your hand if you have a question that you want to ask B.o.B, a.k.a. Bobby Ray, whose new album is coming out next week, Strange Clouds, and we're playing the new single "So Good" right now.
So good.
Picture. Okay. When is the first time you performed and realized that this is what you want to do with your life?
Oh man. Okay, look, when I was 15, I performed at this talent show, and it was actually an audition when I realized it. It was like the first audition I ever did. You know, I had to put in the CD, and I turned around. It was like a judge's table, just kind of like this, except just like 3. So, so I did the whole audition. I was looking at the ground, rapping fast. It don't matter how many pennies you got to take. Pick it up and add it up and maximize the weight. I just went the whole like 3.5 minutes just straight looking at the ground. And then at the end, I looked up.
How'd I do?
How'd I do? They were like, you did good. Just, try to look up every now and then. But like just the energy from it, and how the talent show went, I definitely knew I wanted to do it, and I had to learn how to, calm down a little bit, not jump around so much, and give a good show.
We got a question earlier from Twitter, and they want to know, the fans overseas were tweeting about, they wanted to know when they can expect dates for your European tour.
Yes, I'm still putting together dates now. I actually have a couple dates actually that I'm planning on going over there for Hackney Weekend in the UK and a couple festivals throughout Europe. But I'm telling you, like, when I put this album out after May 1st, I'm going on a 2-year tour for 2 years. I'm just touring.
You're going to be able to keep up for 2 years?
2 years. I may not remember all the places I went afterwards, but I'll get some good sky miles from it, hopefully.
What about the Olympics? I heard you're going to be doing something with the DS at the Olympics.
Yes, I will be. I will be in the Olympics in the UK next year. I had to think about it for a second. Like, when is it?
Are they having a competition about who can rap the fastest looking at the ground? That is this year.
See, look, prime example is what I'm saying. It's just crazy.
It's just too much going on.
It's too much going
on. So you did talk to. So you've been, in touch with Nicki Minaj. She's on the new album. Did you ever ask her why the hell she quit Twitter?
Well,
now she's back again.
I was gonna ask her via Twitter, but I couldn't.
Ladies who have been asking, and they started emailing earlier when we talked about it on the air that you were coming in studio, and they said they've started to notice that you've been working out a little bbit, and I want to know what's up with the abs.
They've been trying to check out the gun show. No. Well, I mean, man, I've been trying to stay in shape. I never really looked at myself as trying to get buff. I'm not really trying to get like. One of those guys that walk around like
super B.o.B.
Like, what are you smuggling, pillows? No. But yeah,
Well, if you're going to be touring for 2 years, you're going to have.
You might as well stay in shape. You know what I'm saying? You might as well.
Also, and while we're getting somebody else lined up from the crowd to be able to ask you another question, again, we're talking to B.o.B. Bobby Ray, the album "Strange Clouds" coming out next week.
Just a Tuesday, man. You know how long I've been waiting for this Tuesday?
I bet forever. And also, what's Target doing? Target's doing
bonus track. Look, I highly recommend y'all get the bonus track version. These are not album throwaways. These are songs that are album songs that just couldn't fit on the album. So we made a bonus track version, and luckily we're lucky enough to have Target to make a bonus track version and sell it for us. So please go check that out.
Got another question from Twitter earlier, and he said that listening to your album and your music in the past inspires him to write lyrics, which I'm sure is probably a huge compliment. But what inspires you to write your lyrics?
I mean, man, it could really be something as simple as your checker pattern on your shoes from day to day. Like it just kind of, like when it started, when I was a kid, it started as like just me, kind of venting and just, self-therapy, just really just, being artistic and creative and just putting my energy somewhere. But now it's like, that created the MC, and now what inspires me day to day is just, it could be anything, just whatever I see, going through security at the airport. No.
Hey, I can't wait to hear you rant about that. We're doing our live web chat with B.o.B. Bobby Ray, taking questions from the audience. And also don't forget, you can hit us up at G105 Radio with questions on Twitter, and also hashtag Strange Clouds. Our next question.
Hey, Bobby Ray.
Hey, how you doing?
I'm great. It's a
cool.
Beautiful day.
It is a beautiful day. They have you guys nicely, intimately lit back here.
well, good. Well, I'm a big fan of yours as well as a Michael Phelps fan. So my curious question is, when you get all those lyrics in your heads like Phelps does, he vents out in a little black book. Do you have a little black book of lyrics that you like to carry around?
Well, I have I have a black microphone that I record my verses in that that I mean really I kind of put everything that I want to say and all of my emotions and whether they be good or bad, I kind of put it into my music and I record it down. And at the end of the day, everybody doesn't have to hear everything, so
So just therapy for you.
yeah, I can just put it out. But yeah, man, I'm a Mike Phelps fan as well.
Did you ever find yourself like breaking out the iPhone and trying to do lyrics on the little pad on the iPhone, keeping notes?
I mean, I keep some notes. It's just kind of, I like doing everything in my head, for the most part. I like just the art of spontaneity. I really like just freestyling it and just seeing how it comes, and the organic energy. You can't mastermind that. It just kind of happens.
Other than your song, So Good, what do you think is the hottest song out now that you enjoy listening to?
The song by I think I'm Guyot Gautier. There we go. I keep saying Guyot.
Yeah, you see those guys on Saturday Night Live? They were really good.
Yeah, it's dope. And
we're one of the first stations in the country to break that.
Yeah, man, they're playing that song around the world. It's crazy.
Any other questions from the crowd? Oh, they were all talking about you all day coming up in here, and now they're getting all shy. We got a question up here in the front.
All
In the
right.
front.
I don't know if you can answer this, but I'll ask it anyway. But who's the most divo or diva that you've worked with? Because you've done a lot of collaboration. Or who's your favorite? I'll even let you off the hook.
There you go. I like being off the hook. I like. Well, it's crazy because like every artist is different. I'm the type of person where I really wouldn't know what could be ridiculous to me, because it's not ridiculous to me if if it's like a demand I want or something that I have. But I think each artist, some people like no one to be in a room when they're recording. Some people like there to be lots of people in the room when they're recording. It's so extreme, and they can feel very adamantly about the two extremes. So you really can't tell, but you kind of learn what creates the type of vibe for an artist. Like if you're the type of artist that makes club party music, what type of studio session is going to be. Or as opposed to working with like a with the Taylor Swift or what have you. It's just more of a more of a chill vibe in the studio.
Strange Clouds, the single with Lil Wayne, came out last year.
Yeah.
That was really hot. Right now, the song So Good is out. There was a song that came out recently called Where Are You, and that was the Bobby Ray, or the B.o.B. versus Bobby Ray.
Yeah.
What was that song all about for you?
For me, it was kind of like me speaking to myself from the perspective of from the perspective of my fans. And, really fans, friends, and family and friends all combined into different perspectives. And then at the end, I kind of rap, I kind of speak my piece about, just what it's been like from the time I started and how things have grown and changed throughout the years. And it's actually the closing track to the album.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
We keep talking about collaborations, and that's one of the things that that got you world known. I'm just always been curious from a radio standpoint. We hear these songs, and they all seem to be perfectly seamless. But have you done collaborations with artists in the past where they may be overseas in Japan, and here you are in Atlanta, and they tell you how many bars you need to do, and you piece it together in a studio, and you guys can create magic from thousands of miles away?
Man, I haven't. That would be dope though, to do a song in Japan, and then
But you know what I'm
then I
saying.
can get my hologram together, and I can send my hologram to Japan,
Exactly.
and then we can perform it. But collaborations, man, it kind of work. I prefer, really, I think what it really boils down to is just the chemistry, because I feel like the chemistry I had with Haley on Airplanes was just there, even though we didn't meet until it was time to perform the song together on TV for the first time. So, you never can really tell until you actually just kind of experience it and play around with it, with what different types of music, you or the other artists may have.
Mm-hmm. Any other questions from the audience? As we're talking to B.o.B, Bobby Ray, with the album coming out next week, Strange Clouds. You got to make sure you get it.
Are you single?
Yes, I'm single.
Why are you single? Also, we got a question right here.
What are your favorite tracks off the new album?
I like how you said tracks.
Tracks.
Because I can't just pick one. It's so hard. Definitely Bombs Away with Morgan Freeman is one of them.
I cannot wait to hear that. Oh my God.
When you hear it, you're gonna be, oh man, that's the golden voice.
Get busy living and get busy dying.
That's the wall between. All right, let me shut up. The Out of My Mind track with Nicki Minaj. So Hard to Breathe. And Ray-Bans. Probably some of my favorites. Really the whole album, but you know.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna name off the whole album.
Well, you know, you're saying album, and that brings me to a question about nowadays. Do you get a lot of pressure from the record labels to just put out a bunch of really good singles and then put them on something called an album? Or do you still get to be an artist and create a 10-track album where your songs are all part of a bigger picture and scheme that you're trying to do poetically?
Well, you know, as an artist, you really have to draw the line and really define what you want your sound to be. You know what I mean? And it really depends on what you want. You know, I've run into some people who have told me, like, I just want one single. I just want to be a one-hit wonder. I don't want to be, and you know what I mean? So it really just depends on what you want. For me, I feel like I've had even more support with this project than the first album, and just more freedom with this album, so I could make it more of an organic sounding album. You know, having a good album with good songs is one thing, but having a good album with good songs and it sounds organic like nothing else out, you know, is another thing. And that's what I wanted to make sure I accomplished with this next album, and just continue to enhance and go further than where I was, you know. And I spent a lot more time with just the hooks, the verses, the production, the music, everything, the mixing, and I have more songs on this album, so it's a lot more room to play with, you know, and it speaks for itself.
And are you still making some of the beats on your album? Because I know that's how you got started.
I actually produced most of this album.
Really?
Yes, and it's a lot more, you know, it's just a lot more of me in it, you know. It's not. It's just really it's a really good project, really organic from beginning to end. It catches everyone up to date who didn't listen to me before the Adventures of Bobby Ray. People who didn't listen to all the mixtapes and everything. This album keeps them up to date.
Well, how do people get copies? Like true fans get copies of some of that old school stuff? Because when I was reading online and I was getting caught up, I'm one of those guys who. Yeah. Kind of came a little bit late in the game when you started putting out your bigger albums, but I saw you did a version of Bonita Applebaum, you know, from Tribe, one of my favorite old school songs. How do people get copies of that stuff? Bob mixtapes?
You can go to a lot of different, I want to say my website, I'm just not sure how many are up because I put out like 7 to 9, I think.
And the website is
B.o.batl.com. And I'm on Twitter at B.o.batl if you're not following me. And I'm on Instagram, same name.
And I know maybe one or two more questions from the audience, but is it true that you've been approached for some movie roles?
I have in the past.
Look at you. You got that look on your face.
I have in the past, and
you go narrate one of his movies.
I play the teenage Morgan Freeman. You know, I definitely feel myself possibly. I wouldn't be surprised if sometime in the future, I don't know how far, how close, or how soon, but if you saw B.o.B starring in, no, if you saw that, I wouldn't be surprised. But you know, as of now, I'm not really working on anything at the moment. But you know, I'm open to the experience.
And any more questions from the audience? And also, you gotta say happy birthday to Brianna right here. Today's her birthday, and she loves you.
Happy birthday! You are. Hold on. Let me guess.
You better say like 20.
Are you? Wait, no. I was gonna guess the sign. Are you an Aries? Oh, that's even worse. Cause like my dad. No, I'm saying it because my dad's birthday is this month, and it's in May. So yeah, it's not that bad. It's still April.
There's also Gemini at the end of the month.
At the end of May?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Really? My manager's a Gemini.
You don't know what size.
That's just like B.o.B. Bobby Ray.
It's true.
Don't argue.
I'm a Scorpio, November 15th.
Oh, I should have known.
Why do Scorpios get like that?
I know, right? It's like, yeah, I knew that.
It's like, oh.
It's like, obviously.
No, that's not bad.
Either you like
It's not bad if you get along with a Scorpio. If you don't,
They'll sting your ass. All right, you got a question?
What's your typical day like?
my typical day, like, okay, well, now that the album's been going, I've been like waking up at like 5 to 6 a.m. Practicing, staying tip top tier shape, remembering all my, cause like I have a lot more music to remember that, I may not get as much time to rehearse as I would like. So
is that why sometimes you see on stage rappers have entourage so they can kind of fill in the gaps? I've always wondered about that too.
I mean, I can't speak for people who have like a whole football team on the back. I don't know.
And they're always holding a bunch of towels.
I guess they're all sweating.
But I imagine just like vocally, like you got to be in shape just to be able to stay on stage performing,
Yeah, man,
move around, do the lyrics.
It's definitely not. I mean, it depends on what how involved with the crowd you want to be. Some artists, they can be involved with the crowd, with the minimal. Me, I've been wild since I was a kid, so I like to crowd surf and jump off stage, jump on the stage, go jump on that speaker, then go jump on that speaker.
That's crazy white people stuff, right? You know that, right?
I mean, I'm a rock and roll fan as well, so I have dreams where I'm like crowd surfing, playing guitar, and like it's crazy.
B.o.B wants to be in Led Zeppelin.
I was actually the extra member. They just didn't. You just don't see me because I'm.
Well, it's B.o.B, and this is going to wrap up our web chat with B.o.B, one of the best hip-hop artists out right now. Bobby Ray. Album is going to be coming out May 1st. That is next week. It's called Strange Clouds. Get the single right now on iTunes called So Good. Also listen to G105 and Kiss 93.9 FM. If you want to keep the conversation going, make sure you hashtag Strange Clouds, and we'll be communicating back and forth with you. But thank you so much for coming in here.
You get it?
And seeing everybody from Raleigh.
Thank y'all. Album Strange Clouds May 1st. Appreciate it.